Good morning, everybody. My voice is shot because I was just streaming hardcore for the past like 14 hours, and we ran from 1 to 20 in one sitting. And so I wanted to put together a little mechanics guide for you. So if you want to get started on Hardcore Season 8, you'll know what to expect, what's going on, and what you need to do. So, first things first, let's talk about the reward structure. So, right now on Hardcore League, there are several different rewards that you can earn in a few different ways. So you have the 1750 favor reward for getting 1750 favor with the glittery golden eyes toggle. It makes your eyes glow gold. An important thing to note about this toggle is that, or this reward is at 1750 favor. If you get to level 20, you're probably going to get it. So I wouldn't stress too much about getting this one. If you play hardcore enough, you will pretty much get this reward. However, there is no 5k favor reward. So don't worry about trying to get 5k favor doing every quest in the game. That is not required, but we'll talk about that a little bit more in the future. Then there's the reward for getting level 20, the Deathwalker Sash. So it just gives you like a little cloak. There is the 10 Reaper Point reward for getting an even nicer cloak, a 20 Reaper Point reward for getting a solid gold Mimic Treasure Creature Companion, and the final reward, which comes from getting the Golden Footprints, gives you the Golden Footprints, comes from getting the 7 pieces of the Dragon's Horde. I'm going to touch on the Dragon's Horde at the end of the video because it's the most complicated part of it, and we're still figuring it out. But for the most part, the rewards are pretty stock standard and fairly easy to come by, so if you're unsure about exactly what to do, those are not too bad. However, the hardcore vendor is not available right now. There's a bug where the vendor was giving out the rewards right away. You just clicked on him and he just gave you everything. And so they had to close the vendor down and get rid of him, get him out of there, just put him in the closet, and they're going to be bringing him back later. So don't die on Hardcore League, okay, guys? It's really important. Stay alive. Make sure you don't die because you can't hand in your rewards. So if you earn them, keep that in mind. So let's talk about the actual mechanics. How did they make the game harder? First is that every monster in the whole game has an effect called Tiamat's Blessing. And what this does is it gives every monster in the game extra magic resistance rating and extra draconic spell power. So this means that the monsters get more magic resistance rating. So they resist all the magic in the game. So if you are a acid caster, a fire caster, a cold caster, a light caster, an alignment caster, you cast evil spells, good spells, it doesn't matter. They get magic resistance rating, they take less damage. We don't know exactly how much, but it seems fairly substantial. I think it's around like 50 to 60 magic resistance rating, so they resist a fair amount of damage, which is important. There are 2 damage types that ignore this. Force. Force is not affected by magic resistance rating, so you can just slam into them with force spells. And also physical spells, like Blade Barrier, or every single thing that the Blightcaster does, because Thorn spells are physical spells. So remember when I said, hey guys, Blightcaster is really busted and you should play it? Yeah, Blightcaster is the best caster by a mile for this, so you should definitely play that one. And then, as I said, they also get extra spell power of the draconic variety, so lightning, cold, fire, acid, and poison. So any monsters that have those abilities, you got to be careful. Also, the buff is doubled on kobolds and dragons. So if you're fighting kobolds, they really don't take a lot of magic damage, and they belt out the extra lightning on their lightning bolts. And dragons do a lot of damage, which I experienced when we fought a couple dragons during the leveling process. So keep that in mind. That is the first mechanic. The second new mechanic is the special extra champions. So champions are monsters that only spawn when you're on hard or elite difficulty on quests that are level 3 or higher. So if you are playing, like, you're doing quests and you go on hard or elite, once you get to the marketplace, or maybe you go into the Cerulean Hills, you'll start seeing champion monsters. It's a regular thing in DDO. All of the old champions are out, and we have 5 new ones. So the 5 new champions are all dragon-based. We have Korkaz's Voltaic Warrior, Vila's Fiery Champion, Userchannel's Frigid Saboteur, Sinvala's Caustic Champion, and Kraxarian's Venomous Infiltrator. So I got a little graphic up on screen, and in it, it's going to detail the effects. So every single champion is associated with a type, and they will absorb that type of damage. So the only exception being Korkaz's champion, which it does electric damage on hit, but it absorbs cold damage instead of lightning. I don't know why that is. Maybe it's a typo. But it definitely absorbs cold, so it doesn't absorb lightning. But the fire champion has fire and damage and absorbs fire. The cold champion has cold damage and absorbs cold. So they deal more damage of their type, and they also take less damage of that type. That kind of makes sense. However, there are 2 more mechanics you need to know of. First is the circles. Champions are going to spawn circles on the ground. So what that means is as you're fighting them, a big circle will appear and you have to get out of it. If you don't get out of it, then it will explode, dealing damage to you. Now, I don't know exactly how much damage it does because I didn't get hit by any during the entire leveling process because I dodged them all. Because I'm terrified of them. These are the same things that Vengeance Reapers use in Reaper 5 and higher, and that's what makes them so dangerous, is these circles that instantly kill you. So I don't know if they instantly kill you, because I didn't get hit by any, because I didn't want to test it out. So but they are dangerous. Be careful, and if you're going into Reaper mode, you better believe that in Reaper 4, if you're going in endgame, they will instantly kill you, so practice it. If they don't kill you on Elite, they're gonna get you when you go into Reaper 4, because there's no save, you just take the hit, so get out of those circles. The second half is the champions all have additional abilities when you go into the higher difficulties. So I'm talking about here, their Korkaza's Voltaic Warrior. They get silence on hit if they're on a mini boss on Elite, or they can spawn on any champion on Reaper mode. So all the little darker spots that you see on the chart, that means that the monsters, that's effects that mini bosses will get on Elite. So if it's an orange name on Elite champion, it'll have these effects. Or if you're on Reaper mode, any monster can spawn with these effects. So Korkaza's Voltaic Warrior gets silence on hit. It's a 15-second silence. It is very hard to deal with. I got slammed by it when we were doing Stormcleave, and it was difficult because you can't cast spells. Fortunately, spell-like abilities are not spells, and you can still cast them while silenced. I don't know if that's a bug or not, but that you can still do that, so that's what I did. Next is Vila's Fiery Champion. That just gets stun immunity. You just can't crowd control them. They get stun immunity, enchantment immunity. Well, it's called enchantment absorption, but it's probably the same thing. So you just can't stun them, so you just kind of have to damage them and kite them around and deal with them that way. Then you have Oserkaic's Frigid Saboteur that gets extra fortification and Wild Magic Shield. Wild Magic Shield basically protects it from all sorts of different stuff. Sometimes it'll deflect spells. Sometimes it'll just absorb spells. Sometimes it'll take no damage. So keep in mind, you can remove Wild Magic Shield by casting Dispel Magic, and then the Wild Magic Shield will go away. But I don't carry that spell too often, so yeah, we'll see how it goes. It wasn't a problem for us, but maybe when we get to Reaper mode, it will be. Simvala's Caustic Champion gets True Seeing and Uncanny Aim. The True Seeing is pretty straightforward, but Uncanny Aim means it always hits you. It ignores armor class, it ignores dodge. So if it attacks you, it hits you. So you got to be mindful about Simvala's Caustic Champion. They just hit you every time. And then Craxarian's Venomous Infiltrators, they get Vampirism added. I never encountered this once. Like, I encountered lots of the Venomous Infiltrators. I never saw a thing with Vampirism, because we just never got a boss that had it. But they do have it in Reaper, so just keep that in mind. It'll keep their health up. So that's basically what you need to know. Also, some people are going to be asking, what level can you do quests? The quest level lockout is 2 over. So you can't, if you're doing a quest in the harbor, right, you want to do level 2 quests, you have to be level 4. If you go to level 5, you cannot do harbor quests anymore. You can't do those level 2s, and you have to move on to level 3s. If you are level 6, you have to, the highest level you can do is, or the lowest level you can do is 4, because your character can only be 2 levels over the base level of the quest. It's not 4 levels, always keep that in mind. Probably should put that at the beginning of the video. Whatever, just watch the whole thing and you'll be happy about that. And then last but not least, as I said before, there's the golden chest. So the 7 pieces of the Dragon's Horde. So I want to clear this up. A lot of people are confused. So to get the golden footprints, you have to collect all 7 different pieces of the Dragon's Horde. Now, how do you get them? Around the world in Eberron, there are 7 chests out there that are not end chests. They're optional chests and quests. And we have to find them because some of them are actual special dragon chests. Okay? And they're going to be this way every single time. So the first chest is in Sacrifices. That's one of the quests on Korthos Island. And there's a section where instead of going down a ladder to fight some Sahagin, there's like an upper platform and you can jump across it. Unfortunately, I don't have any video. I didn't do it. But you can jump across and then there's an arcane skeleton that pops out. If you fight the arcane skeleton, you're rewarded with the golden chest. Similarly, at the bottom of the pit, which is a quest in House Deneath, there is a monster you fight, the Avatar of Dwiblex, and then after you defeat it at the end of the quest, it also has a golden chest. So these are static locations that will always have a golden chest. It's basically a treasure hunt. Once we find all 7, I'll make a new video detailing where to find all 7, but we currently don't know. We're still looking. The hardcore vendor is supposed to give us information about where you find it, but sadly the hardcore vendor is turned off. So, what happens when you find the chest? When you loot it, you get 1 piece of the Dragon's Horde. but it is one unique piece. There are 7 different kinds. Looting the same chest does not give you anything extra, because the chest drops 1 item each. So the chest in Sacrifices only drops 1 item. The chest in the Pit only drops 1 item. It will not drop other items. Everyone in your group always gets it. So you don't worry about like, what if somebody doesn't get it? If they open the chest, they will get the item. And as I said, it's a unique item per chest. So you have to find all 7 different ones. So no, you cannot just loot the same one over and over. It doesn't work because you'll just get the same item. And you can't even loot it because the items are exclusive. So you have to loot each different chest in the game. Now, as of recording of this video, we know of 3 locations. So as I said, Sacrifices, the Arcane Skeleton optional. I don't have a video for that. At the bottom of the Pit, which is after you go into each of the 3 furnaces to pull the blue crystal lever, and then you go down all the way to the bottom and unlocks a secret door, and you have to fight Avatar of Druidblex, which commonly drops Muck's Doom. And then finally, the last one that we also found was in Mired in Kobolds. There is the final boss is this dragon, and then when you kill it, there is a bit of a cutscene that plays, and then the mama dragon spawns in, and she is like a raid boss style dragon. We killed her, and we got ourselves another chest. So that is 3 found. That means there's still 4 out there in the world, and nobody really knows where they are. We have this is some conjecture at this point. We're just speculating because I can't look through a lot of these areas because I'm higher level. I can't do the lower level quests. Now I'm already level 20. But here's speculation is what people think. Some people think that because the quests are, we found 1 in a 1 and then a 7 and then a 13. Some people think it's going to be every 3 levels. So level 1, 4, 7, 10, 13, 16, 19, which could be possible. I don't know. Some other people think that it's only in free-to-play quests, which are also possible, because then it would be accessible to everyone. And so only being free-to-play quests really narrows down the number of quests total. So for 4, you could say, oh, it's probably a secret in the Pit. For 10, it's probably a secret in hiding in plain sight. For 16, it's probably one of the secrets in Servants of the Overlord, because there's several extreme difficulty chests that are there. So keep that in mind. Also, remember, this is only optionals. End chests do not count. So if you're thinking about where to find and look for this chest, you have to go do optionals in quests. You'll never find it if you just walk through the quest and go to the end. You have to look around and find extra optionals along the side and try to search for all of those. Another thing important about it is you don't have to do these on a set difficulty. You can go do these quests on normal, and then you're able to get the treasure at the end. You do not have to do it on hard. You do not have to do it on elite. You can do these on normal. So if you're worried about the dragon and Mired in Kobolds, just go do it on normal and beat up the dragon and then get your chest. Don't stress about it too much. It's not too bad on normal. Some people have said you can on casual. Other people have said you can't on casual. I don't know. I haven't done any casual, so that one's a little bit out there for me. I'm not 100% certain. But that is so far what we know. So if you are playing on Hardcore League right now, do your optionals, look around, explore quests, looking for those extra optionals, trying to find some extra chests, and hopefully we will get to the bottom of it and have all 7 locations soon, and I'll put a video together for that one. But as far as I know, that's everything we know about Hardcore Season 8. So yeah, have fun, go kill some monsters out there, and it should be a great time. Also, if you want to join my guild, I'll put here at the end of the video. My guild is You Will Get Kicked, and so you can join by using the user channel /join channel YWGK, and that will let you in, and people will invite you. I'll put a little blurb in the description if you want the instructions as to how to join the guild. It's pretty easy and straightforward. And we already have ship buffs. We got ship buffs on day 1, so because we rushed to the cap and got a bunch of guild saga renowned things, and then because we're level 20, we have a bunch of gold, and so we're kind of funneling it in there. So anyway, thank you for watching. Hope you had a fantastic time. Good luck on Hardcore, and stay alive. Also, go play Blightcaster. It's disgusting.